Deception, mistruths, falsehoods. These are the many faces of lying, and the consequences, they are dire indeed. The fabrications we weave can ensnare us, trapping us in a web of deceit that grows ever more tangled with each lie told. These untruths, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, can ripple outwards, causing untold harm to ourselves and those around us. Yet it's not just us mortals who frown upon this deceitful act. The scriptures, those ancient texts that guide countless lives, hold a stern stance on lying. From the earliest chapters of the Old Testament to the latter pages of the New, there are numerous verses that warn against the perils of falsehoods. They offer wisdom, counsel, and cautionary tales, urging us to tread the path of truth. The scriptures, from Old Testament to New, have much to say on this. So shall we delve into the wisdom they offer? The Old Testament, the ancient text filled with wisdom and guidance, does not shy away from the topic of lying. Let's dive into some of the key scriptures that address this issue. First, we have Proverbs 12:22. It says, "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight." This verse is straightforward. It emphasizes that the act of lying is not only displeasing to the Lord, but it is considered an abomination, a strong term signifying something that is deeply hated or detested. On the flip side, those who act faithfully, those who are truthful and honest, are a delight to the Lord. Next, let's look at Exodus 20:16. "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." This commandment is part of the famous 10 Commandments. It prohibits lying about others, particularly in legal matters. But beyond that, it encourages honesty and integrity in our relationships. Lastly, we have Leviticus 19:11. "You shall not steal, nor deal falsely, nor lie to one another." This verse from Leviticus forms part of the Holiness Code, which provides guidelines for moral and ethical behavior. It explicitly states that stealing, dealing falsely, and lying are against the principles of moral conduct. Each of these scriptures communicates a clear message. Lying is not condoned. It's seen as an act against morality, against the principles of good conduct, and most importantly, against the teachings of the Lord. They highlight the importance of honesty, integrity, and faithfulness, values that are at the heart of the Old Testament's teachings. By examining these scriptures, we understand that the Old Testament encourages us to strive for truthfulness in all aspects of our lives. It reminds us that honesty isn't just about not telling lies, it's about being faithful, maintaining integrity, and upholding the moral principles that guide us. As we can see, the Old Testament is clear in its stance against lying, but what does the New Testament offer us? The New Testament, the second part of the Holy Bible, continues the conversation on lying. Delving into the New Testament, we encounter Ephesians 4:25, where the Apostle Paul urges us to put away falsehood, speak the truth with your neighbor, for we are members of one another. Here, Paul is emphasizing the importance of truthfulness in maintaining unity and harmony within the community. Lying in this context is seen as a divisive act that can fracture the bonds of fellowship. We move on to Colossians 3:9, 10, another letter from Paul. Here he says, "Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have stripped off the old self with its practices and have clothed yourselves with the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge according to the image of its Creator." This scripture highlights the transformative power of truth. By shedding our old, dishonest selves, we can embrace a new, truthful existence that mirrors the divine image of our Creator. Lastly, we turn to the book of Revelation 21:8. It contains a stern warning from the Apostle John. "But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." This scripture presents a vivid picture of the consequences of lying, placing it alongside other grave sins and underscoring the severe spiritual repercussions. Each of these scriptures from the New Testament reinforces the notion that lying is a serious transgression. They emphasize the importance of truth in maintaining community cohesion, fostering personal transformation, and securing a favorable spiritual destiny. They warn of the dire consequences of falsehood, painting a stark picture of the potential spiritual peril that awaits those who choose to lie. Together, the Old and New Testaments provide a comprehensive view of lying, But what are the implications of these teachings? Lying, as we've learned, is frowned upon in the scriptures, but why? What are the downfalls of lying? Let's delve into this. Drawing from the scriptures we've discussed earlier, lying, it seems, is a slippery slope. One lie often leads to another, creating a web of deceit that can be difficult to untangle. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 19 tells us that truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. The fleeting nature of a lie may offer temporary relief or advantage, but it's a short-lived victory. Beyond the immediate, lies can have far-reaching consequences. They can erode trust, the bedrock of any relationship. When we lie, we are not only deceiving others, but also, in a way, deceiving ourselves. We are betraying our true selves, our integrity, and our character. Consider this. In the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 9, it is written, "Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices." This scripture underscores that lying is not in line with our higher selves, our spiritual selves. Lies can also lead to broken relationships. When trust is broken, it can be incredibly difficult to rebuild. It's like trying to piece together a shattered glass. Even if you manage to put it back together, the cracks are still visible. Relationships are no different. Once trust is broken through lies, it can leave lasting scars. But perhaps the most significant downfall of lying is the spiritual consequence. The scriptures repeatedly warn against lying, painting it as a sin that distances us from the divine. In Revelations chapter 21, verse 8, it is written, "But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur." This is the second death. So the next time you're tempted to tell a lie, remember the wisdom of the scriptures. Truth, after all, is a virtue prized above all others, and as always, please continue to pray all during the day. Before we wrap up, a quick reminder. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us to reach more people with these important messages. Share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones to spread the wisdom. Remember, honesty is something that benefits everyone, and sharing these teachings could make a real difference in someone's life. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more enlightening videos just like this one. We regularly explore various topics from the scriptures, life lessons, and more. Thank you for watching. Stay truthful, stay blessed, and keep the faith.